we're so serious. TJ, do you agree that Burrow is like Brady and Manning?
Well, I don't want to compare him to Tom.
Stop. You shouldn't. You shouldn't compare anybody to Tom Brady.
This is what I'll say, is Vance Joseph is showing an appreciation and respect to Joe Burrow for his ability to process mentally at the line of scrimmage. And watching him, you see Joe getting the team out of bad plays and the good ones. And so for me, that's just more so, they say, oh, he's just saying that because they play the Bengals this weekend. He ain't say that when they played the Ravens. He ain't say that when they played the Chiefs. And I'm sure Mahomes and Lamar can process just as well. But maybe something Joe did in one of these games that he watched stood out to Vance.
Do you think that Joe is superior at processing to those other quarterbacks that say that?
Oh, I wouldn't say superior. Like, honestly,
what separates Joe then from Josh Allen, from Lamar, from Patrick Mahomes?
I mean, honestly, this is anticipation, I believe. His ability to throw with anticipation. Because a lot of quarterbacks can process, but do you trust what you see? And are you going to throw the ball with anticipation and just say, hey, I know he's going to be there? And a lot of quarterbacks, they not really going to let the ball go when they see what they see, and it's that apprehension. And so, to me, it's just a trust more than anything. But I wouldn't say he's better than this guy or that guy. But his ability to process what he's done with the Bengals, considering what he has to go through, to me is remarkable. Yeah, hopefully he can continue to go through the Broncos and then the Steelers.
Yeah, I agree with Vance Joseph there about, whenever you compare or you mention someone in the same breath as great players, Hall of Fame guys, people going to always be like, especially when the body of work is not significant as the finished product of those, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. But like TJ is saying, you're talking about shoulders up. You're talking about what's in his brain, processing, being able to look at the defense and realize, okay, it's man-to-man, not zone, or zone is not man-to-man. Here's the front, the backer's coming, safety coming on a weak side blitz. All of those sort of things, the majority of really good quarterbacks can all process around the league. Every last one, because they wouldn't even be there.
Right.
You would have to dumb down the offense, dummy it down. Well, they're not dummying it down for Joe Burrow. They're not dumbing it down for Lamar or some of these other quarterbacks that have gone to Pro Bowls or championship games. They all can process information. He's just getting ready to play against them. So now you just throw him a little love, throw him a little sugar.
What do you think Joe Burrow does differently then?
One, like TJ said, I think he spits the ball out with anticipation with the best of them. And we've said it many times over. If I see the ball come out, you're late. That means you're late or the play is broken down and I'm scrambling around. So I think that is key to him. Plus, he's tough as nails. He really is. Guy gets, I don't even know how many sacks his first couple years in the league, but it's shattering and record-breaking, and he was getting the you-know-what beat out of him, and he still led his team to the Super Bowl. That's when you can pick yourself up off the ground and do those sort of things. That's what I want. I want a tough quarterback that I can look into the huddle, and I got confidence that we're going to be okay. Because there's a lot of quarterbacks, and TJ played with a bunch of them too. You get in the huddle, and you look at them, wow, just
bro, they just got that look.
Man, they got the look. I'm telling you,
Joy. When you get sacked over and over and over.
Yeah. They start seeing things that's not there.
Ghosts, yeah.
No, I wasn't going to say that, and you thought I was. Because you want to pick on Sam now.
I don't want to pick on Sam. He said what he said.
Paul? I guess, because like when I first heard it, like originally what comes to my mind, when you start throwing out names like Brady and Manning, you just like, oh.
Yeah.
But then like when you process what he's saying, I mean, I can understand how he can say he has some of the characteristics of some of the greats, I mean, I feel like I have some of the characteristics of Michael Jordan too. So, I mean, it's just...
You did,
people heard Jordan, they just like,
But you did. You're not lying. You just couldn't jump like that.
No. But yeah, I understand what he's saying, and until he gets to that level where he's putting it all together like these two did.
I understand what he's saying. I don't like comparing. I think it's a rule.
Yeah.
You should not compare anyone to Tom Brady.
You can't, but it's not comparing them.
I understand what he's saying, though.
Like the same breath right now.
Tom did well, the things that Peyton did well.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is likened to them. I think Joe Burrow is more of the traditional quarterback than any of the other elite four. Like, if we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow as the unquestioned elites in the league right now, right? But we can put other guys' names in there week in and week out, and I think there are other elite talent, but these guys have done it year after year. They have the resume and the results to show that they're in that space. Amongst them, I think
Matthew Stafford.
Of course, but I'm saying let's just keep it to this group, like this generation of these four. He, to me, is the most traditional quarterback. And when I think of Peyton Manning, I don't think of a guy who's running around. Tom Brady certainly did not do that. And
he can sneaky move.
He is more mobile than the two of them.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
the comparison that Vance is making to Joe Burrow and them, of Joe Burrow to them, I understand. I just personally, as a rule, do not compare anyone to Tom Brady because then you lose the plot. But I do understand what he's saying.
Go out there and fulfill that and carve them up like Brady or Peyton would, though. So go ahead and do that.
I mean, he does do that.
Tomorrow.
TJ wants that done.
Yeah.
So do you expect the Broncos to end the Bengals' playoff hopes?
I don't. I really don't. I expect the Bengals to come out and win this game. Let's be honest. Who you want in the playoffs, Joe Burrow or Bo Nix? We want the Bengals in the playoffs. Not just me. We as football fans would prefer to have Joe Burrow in the playoffs over Bo Nix. And so it just makes for good football.
I think Broncos fans will disagree. But
Wild card weekend, Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen or Josh Allen versus Bo Nix. We want Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen. And so for that, I believe the Bengals will win the game. It's not going to be easy. That pass rush that the Broncos have, the way they play defensively, it's going to come down to if I'm the Broncos, Surtain, you're following Jamar. He in the slot, you in the slot. You following him the entire game. T. Higgins is going to have to come through. You're going to have to exploit their second corner if that's something they do. And so I want to see the Bengals in the playoffs. When I say I speak for all football fans.
You want to see them in the playoffs because you get a chance to make some money. I know what that's all about.
What you talking about?
Every time the ex-players, they want their teams in, they get a little money.
I do understand what TJ is saying. I would be interested in seeing Bo Nix, but I understand what you're saying. We want the best against the best.
Yeah.
So I get it.
I
don't think that the Bengals are making the playoffs because there's too much
stuff that's
too much has to go right.
But I think I got the Broncos going in there and taking care of business tomorrow. I really do, because of Sean. Mm-hmm. Because Sean Payton's not going to put Bo Nix in harm's way, and they got a defense. Defensive teams that rely on their defense in the postseason, they go further than teams that rely on their offense in the postseason. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
And Sean's a hell of a coach. Like you said, would you rather see
Josh Allen,
Joe Burrow, or Bo Nix in Josh Allen? Well, I'm talking about Sean, because he's really the quarterback. Even though he's the head coach calling the plays, he's the one teaching and giving that information. It was almost like the year that Jared Goff had success and Sean McVay was calling plays like it was college and high school from the sidelines. Mm-hmm. At the last few seconds, he turned the sideline, and giving the signals. That's kind of what Sean is doing with Bo Nix and just bringing them along slowly.
What do you think happens, Paul?
Originally, and I get what TJ's saying about, Burrow and Allen, definitely the sexier pick.
Sure.
With those quarterbacks, with two outstanding quarterbacks, but no substance with the Bengals. I mean, I look at them, they haven't beat a team all year with a winning record. They've lost to every team. So I don't even think it'll be a game if they ended up playing Buffalo. It wouldn't even be a game. We'll be looking at these games like we did on Christmas, like blowouts, boring.
See, I don't know. They popped Buffalo 2 years ago in Buffalo. 2 years ago. 2 years ago in Buffalo, they got them in Buffalo.
What a better Buffalo team.
What a better Buffalo team.
That was a different.
The Bengals were better defensively.
The Bengals
No, but I'm just saying that
not
it's not
good
like
defensively.
It's not like they're gonna walk into Buffalo feeling like they can't beat them.
I think a Broncos-Bills matchup would be a better game because the Bengals do not have any defense.
Yeah, no defense.
So while the marquee would be beautiful, the posters are going to be flashy. Sure. The actual performance, I don't think, would be as good.
They're once again that team that I always call out. What are they? Instagram models. They look good. Then you get them in person, showed out all the glitz and filters. The filters come off, and reality set in.
But I'm sure you done had some where the filters come off, and you're like, oh, hey.
I'm going to move the show along.
Authentic material.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember last block when you said you weren't outside?
Yeah, I ain't been outside.
Yeah.
I've been on Instagram.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.